Hello and welcome to the PyeongChang 2018 Paralympic Winter Games. We are indeed in day 9. This is the final day of the Paralympic Winter Games, and you join us here at the Jeongseon Alpine Centre for run 2 of the women's slalom events. We'll start off with the women's visually impaired second run. We'll move through the standing and sitting events through the course of this programme as well. The Alpine Centre has given us plenty of action over the first 8 days of these games. Day 9 hasn't let us down in the first run either. Great temperatures, not only for the athletes but spectators as well. It's a packed house here at the Alpine Centre. You'll see from shots at the bottom of the runs a little bit later on, but plenty of people here.
Comes on and shows you to be quiet, and we want everyone to be quiet until the
competition
cross the line.
Was hot this morning. A couple of races where we had the expected people in the expected places. Women's visually impaired was one of those events. There are 12 competitors scheduled to go. As always in para-alpine rules, it is the slowest from the first run to go first, which means that last will be the chance for Henrieta FARKASOVA to win her 5th medal of the gold kind here in what is proving to be a golden Paralympics for the Slovakian. It would indeed be a tremendous achievement. The gap this time around is just 0.7 between the top 3. Closer look at the course here then. The Jeongseon slalom course drops some 200 metres. There are 56 gates, 55 of those are turning gates. And Martin Maknovnik of Slovakia sets the course. Some of our athletes in the standing category just waiting at the top for their turn. Their time to shine is later. This is the Belgian sisters, Eleonor and Chloe, and we're getting a rendition of something. I'm assuming they've got no idea that we're filming over their shoulder there, but there you go. Plenty of athletes from all nations taking parts here on the final day. Some of the biggest receptions, of course, have been for the home athletes here in PyeongChang. These Korean athletes will be waiting for their turn to hear the roar at the bottom of the mountain. Final preparations. Last time they'll be stood at the top, waiting to compete at the 2018 Games. This is the lady that has the honour of going first, as she did in the first run. And whilst that means she was last after the first run, not every athlete here in the women's slalom visually impaired event is after the golds. Eva GOLUZA is just 17, and Eva and guide Anna-Lena. It is all about progression. This is a huge moment in terms of learning what it's all about at Paralympic Games, the experience of being away from home for a long period of time and racing against the best in the world. Well, at the other end of the spectrum, Henrieta FARKASOVA is just that. 4 golds from 4 events, but this is the tightest it's been so far. So we start the final section of action of the PyeongChang 2018 Paralympic Winter Games here at the Alpine Centre. The final 3 runs in the competition's VI, standing and sitting. On her way down, this is Eva GOLUZA and Anna-Lena of Croatia, a B3 classified athlete, so within the visual impaired section, B3 athletes have the highest level of visual acuity. The guide is used as just that. It's somebody who can take an athlete with a visual impairment down a mountain both speedily and safely. Eva's choice is Anna Zickman. They communicate through headsets in their helmets. There's a microphone just in front of the mouth of the pair of them. Sometimes the skier doesn't want to talk back, but most of the time the voice you hear is that of the guide. This will be Anna Zickman on this occasion. Each athlete's impairment is different. They're classified into the 3 groups. Oh, and it's a moment right at the end that Eva GOLUZA will not want. She'll want to complete the course. And it's not going to happen. Well, so close to the end as well. Absolute despair. Eva GOLUZA doesn't get a finishing time at the games in this final event.
Well,
it was a strange one, wasn't it? Innocuous, to say the least. Unexpected as well. That bottom section is not the trickiest at all. Just a momentary lapse of concentration means our first athlete down is out. Time for Team UMSTEAD then. This is husband and wife pairing of Danelle UMSTEAD with guide Rob. Can they come up with something magical at the end? They were down in 11th place. Perhaps hear the instructions of guide Rob. Sometimes guides use a variance of words, Rob using up and down, so enabling Danelle to feel the contour of the course. Following well. Time of 104.50. She was only just in front of compatriot Staci Manella, or just behind. Instead, looking to go better. We're into the final quarter of the course. Shouldn't be anything in here that is tricky enough. But certainly caught out the Croatians. Oh, that might be a straddled gate post right at the very end.
Yeah, time at 2:11.68 for Danelle.
2:11.68. Little trouble at the end. Should be hoping that both skis have gone one side. No, in fact, they haven't. Look, there you go. Oh, I just spotted that as she came through, and she just turns too sharply. There's no real need to turn when she came around that final blue gate. And a disappointment for a second run running here. DNF for GOLUZA. Disqualification for UMSTEAD. Staci Manella. Big decision to take a step back from the sport after Sochi to concentrate on those academic aspirations. 2 6th places in Sochi would suggest that she is a lady with a lot of talent. Being guided here by Sadie DeBaum. Some of the guides wear high visibility clothing. Giving an explanation from one of the skiers that they prefer their guide to wear darker colours because that contrasts against the bright white, especially in the sunlight, which is just starting to come through. Some skiers would have preferred the cloud cover, others quite like as much light as possible. So again, each condition, each mountain, each weather condition benefits different skiers, and that might be in this gate as well. Manella will carry on. through this last section and across the line. 2:07.13 is the combined time.
Put your hands together for Staci Danelle.
Staci not without difficulty in the lower section as well. Now that one's gone up on the board, so 2:07.13 is accepted. The embrace between athlete and guide. It is a hugely important relationship. Back up the top. Former champion from Sochi. I say former, there's too much work to do here. But for now, she is the reigning champion, shall we say, from Sochi. This is Aleksandra FRANTSEVA. Golds in the slalom and super combined. She's already lost the super combined title. Slalom wasn't the best run this morning in the first part of this competition. FRANTSEVA and her guide Simon Pliaskin went 1:02.35. It left them down in 9th position. It surely left them too much work to do for FRANTSEVA to hold on to that title. But we've seen 2 not finish so far. As long as FRANTSEVA gets in front of Staci Minella, there's always got hope to cling to. Again, instructions from Simon Pliaskin. Holding on to the course neatly here. And hopefully no problem through the last section, nothing to worry about, but it is slower than Manella, who was pretty quick, it has to be said. A 1:02 was much better than the 1:04 she went this first run, and now it's FRANTSEVA who goes the other way. 1:02 in the first run, that's a 1:06.38. Elena Sana and Chloe Sana, saw them singing earlier. They're the singing Sana sisters. Come out of the gate on the final day of action in PyeongChang. Flag bearers during the opening ceremony. Medal winners during the opening competition. Where will they place in the final piece of action here at the Jeongseon Alpine Centre? We're inside Mannella's time, but a big steady slide from Eleanor there. Oh, and off balance as well. Chloe, she's one of the guys that doesn't look back as much as some of the others. You have to find that some guys are constantly looking back. Not so much so here in the slalom, because the guys themselves have got a tricky course to compete through. It's not just about the athlete. So Eleanor and Chloe going through this nice and steady. Currently, Manella in top spot. 2:07.13 is the combined time to find. Into the final 2, it's a slight left and don't overcook the right like UMSTEAD did, but that's 2:05.63, which means the SANA sisters from Belgium are our current leaders in the VI slalom. Surely too many to go for the SANAs to stay where they are. Now, YANG Jae Rim, a good run in the first run. Away she goes, YANG Jae Rim and Ko Unsori. 28 is Yang. Comes from Seoul. Studied visual arts at university. Throw away any misconceptions. A lot of our VI athletes are into photography and art. Misconceptions about VI athletes over time. Nice and steady to start with. Big wide turns being taken. Caution here on the second run, it would seem. First run, 60.22. She was the last of the athletes not to get inside 60. She's stretching a lead over Eleonor Sana currently. The fastest time down in the second run belongs to Staci Manella, but it's only good enough for second as is. Just a couple of looks back you saw from the guide there. Yang Jae Rim will finish her second run and will go top for now. 3 seconds faster than Eleonor Sana. It's the quickest second run to date as well. Much to the delight of the Jeongseon Alpine Centre punters. They are on their feet. And the public are making some noise. Huge cheer. Look at that. Great turnout. As they make their way to the winners area, how long will they stay there? Well, here's a lady who knows what it's like to win the whole thing.
Ready? Yeah. Tell me when you're set. Okay, 3, 2, 1.
No one can accuse Kelly Gallagher of not being a trier, not selected at the first time of asking. Kelly and Guy Gary just kept giving everything they've got. The First Lady to win a Paralympic gold for Great Britain. Just a real struggle a moment ago. Keeping her in check, another big slide. She's 3.14 seconds in front. She'd like to try and get past PERRINE and RISTAU if possible. It's quite tight, that gap between 6th and 4th. Those big slides from Kelly might prove costly. 32 now. Lady skiing for the first time, aged 17 in Andorra. By 2008 was accepted into the Great Britain development squad. She was registered blind. She was a small child. Across the line goes Gallagher. 4 seconds is the difference.
15857, 4 seconds advantage.
Is that enough to cause maybe a little surprise from 6th position? A couple of non-finishers. Any mistakes from the next few? Gallagher can hold some hope. And these are the moments that you just have to hope and pray. Gallagher acknowledges the crowd and the support that she's been given. Maybe some didn't think she'd get here. Kelly Gallagher certainly did know that she would. There wasn't much of a gap. PERRINE was just 0.61 ahead. Melissa PERRINE and Christian Geiger from Australia. 30 years old now, PERRINE. No means her first time at the disco. 2010, the best she could manage was a 5th place. 2014, it was a 4th place. Talk about natural progression as he comes in with a big slide, and she's already stretched a good chunk of a lead into her and Kelly Gallagher. She's picked up bronze in both the super combined and the giant slalom, so 5th to 4th to 3rd. Is there one more? Steady progression here to a silver maybe. The challenge is on to even make the podium if we're fair. 4 athletes in front of her after the first run, but this is quick. Stretching the gap between herself and Gallagher. All just getting caught up. Lucky she's strong. She's just managed to keep on going, and a real twist and turn finish. 3.50. It's quite intricate at the bottom if you're not in the line you want.
or the number 1 spot, Melissa
They all
Perrine.
get a chance to come down the
155.07,
run
so
and
it'll be 3.5
take in
second
the course
advantage.
beforehand.
So Australia number 1, Great Britain number 2.
And, if you're off the line you were expected to be on, especially as a VI athlete, the recovery is fairly difficult. Perrine goes top. 155.07 now the time to beat. Next up to tackle this course is Germany's pairing of Noemi Ewa RISTAU. Her guide is Jeongseon. Again, difference in the guides, the difference in the techniques used. Jeongseon is having a real look back a couple of moments ago, making sure everything's okay. Just slowing, and the gap is only 0.08, 8/100ths now between RISTAU and Perrine. This is the lady that was just outside the medals after the first run. She would be the one to benefit if one of the top 3 made an absolute mess of it. But to benefit, you've got to be top. This will be tight, 138.62. Oh, and Perrine is now ahead. Can this pair from Germany find something in the bottom section? Perrine had a few issues in the latter stages. Can they pick up some time here as they come to the line? No, they can't. 1.14 behind. So Melissa Perrine of Australia stays top with just 3 to come. 1 slip up out of 3, and Australia get themselves a 3rd bronze for Melissa Perrine at minimum. Well, Germany won the most medals in the women's section, but it would seem that RISTAU isn't going to be one of those medal winners on this occasion. First of the 2 Brits up next. 3rd after the first run. This is Millie Knight, 19-year-old from Great Britain. Her guide is Brett Wild. Big football fan, Brett. His guide ability has got to be at its very strongest here. Not only are they looking to improve their position, they can't make a mistake, because one mistake could allow Melissa Perrine in. It's going well at the moment though. Knight's time well up on the Australian. Again, you listen to those instructions, you can hear Brett Wild screaming at the youngster from Canterbury. 2.61 the gap. A clean run from here and you would consider this comfortable, and another medal for the lady that has battled so hard with the problems she's had, which have been mental ones rather than her vision impairment. Confidence after Tarvisio was at a low, but Knight finishing on a high. It's a medal at least. All we have to do now is wait and witness the final 2 runs to determine where this young lady eventually finishes. She will have another very shiny souvenir to take home. Youngest ever Paralympian.
Leave everything on that hill. Come on.
Millie Knight. Here's the second of the British athletes to come down.
Yeah, ready. 3, 2, 1, go.
Fitzpatrick and Keogh. Menna Fitzpatrick and Jen Keogh. Disastrous day 1. Bit of a light since then. Bronze in the Super G. Silver in the Super Combined. Silver in the Giant Slalom. Can they finish with a flurry? Oh, Menna just having to dig in to prevent herself from not being able to turn into that red gate. She's managed it and she'll carry on. How costly that mistake may be. Knight's final time is 1:53.39. The checkpoint, we're looking for a 1:36.01. There was not a lot between the three of them. Fitzpatrick's still ahead, 0.41. In theory, she has stretched the lead she had over Millie Knight. This is going to be a big finish. If there's any chance of pressuring Farkasova, it has to be big through the gate, 1.59.
There you go, Menna Fitzpatrick getting the #1 spot.
Clattered the third from last.
5'9",
Hopefully went the right side of them. I'm sure she has. 1:51.80 is the time. These two know that they will get their medals. They're happy. A completed run from both of the British athletes puts pressure onto this lady, but she doesn't feel pressure. Henrieta, Farkasova and Natalia Shubatova. It has been problemless. It has been effortless. It has been beautiful to watch. These two, it's almost telepathic. Never mind the instructions through the helmet. Just as if they know what each is thinking. 0.72 is the gap. Fitzpatrick was 0.66 back after the first run, so in theory, we're already stretching out. But one mistake, one very uncharacteristic mistake, could be costly. She had a couple of falls during the World Cup season. Wasn't dominant in Sochi by any stretch of the imagination either. But Farkasova, the 31-year-old, aiming to win all 5 medals here. Can she get 1:51.18? No! Well, that is sensational. Menna Fitzpatrick is the Paralympic champion. It just seemed to slow towards the bottom, and the unexpected can happen at any point. The thought process was 5 gold medals. The reality is, it's a shock. There is absolute delight for Great Britain. The spectators in the stand hardly able to contain themselves. There are real cheers. While Great Britain take gold and bronze, it's 2 more medals for them. That takes their tally in the women's section to 7. But what they weren't expecting was one of them to be gold. There's a brand new name, and it's Menna Fitzpatrick. She's only 19. Lots of competition for her left in her career. Run all the way down, just 2 failed to finish in the women's VI event. Well, this is Menna Fitzpatrick's run. This is a run that was worthy of a PyeongChang gold medal. We've said on many occasions that this Jeongseon Alpine Centre has given us drama as much as it has delight. It's given us both drama in the last run, and there's the realisation. The moment that these two know that they are Paralympic champions, well, that lady there has just said, "Are you all right?" And whilst Menna Fitzpatrick has said yes, I don't necessarily believe that's 100% true. Women's slalom standing event next on our schedule. We started the first run with 17. We lost 4. We will start with Ilma Kazazic, who was the 13th place after the first run. The young lady from Bosnia and Herzegovina, 27.05. Her challenge was getting from top to bottom The lady that does it best so far in the standing world is Marie Bochet. Her time 55.18. So, 19, already at her second games. The lady born in Sarajevo, Ilma Kazazic, still a student, fluent in 4 different languages. Made a debut in 2014. Went to the Paralympics in Sochi with so little experience. Her coach and mentor at the time took her through. He indeed competed in Sochi himself. Since then, Ilma has had to deal with the death of coach Senad Tukovic. A new coach now. She skis in his honour. And, just finishing these races is what she's come here to do, to show the world that this lady with cerebral palsy can indeed take to the slopes and complete the world-class standard slalom course. Zazic was the first female to represent Bosnia and Herzegovina in a Paralympic Winter Games skiing. She's doing it again for the second time. Steadily into the final section. And Kazazic completes the course. 2:50.96 is her total time.
Let's hear for Ilma from Bosnia and Herzegovina, 19 years old, a 250.96.
Has times on the board here in PyeongChang. Melanie Schwartz getting ready.
Go, Mel. Tackle. Let's go. Up.
Melanie Schwartz now, the only one of the 3 Americans that started the competition to actually make it to the bottom. They had a DQ and a DNF. But Schwartz, one of our single leg skiers, managed it this morning. Can she do it again to get her full complement of times? While she is 16.79 seconds clear, that's a personal achievement and a battle that has no effect on the standings for medals. She will stay ahead of Kazazic should she stay on the course due to the general speed that Schwartz goes compared to Kazazic. 32. Her third games and second representing the USA, having skied for Canada in 2010. Just making sure she went the right side of a gate a moment ago, and this bottom section is no match for Schwartz as she goes along and gets a 1:13 in the second run. That's 2:25.38 as the total time. Bib 13 belongs to 18-year-old Frédéric Turgeon.
Full power, Fredo. Let's go. Come on.
So Frédéric is the youngest left in the competition, along with Mollie Jepsen. 17-year-old Mel Pemble, also from Canada, going out in run number 1. So Frédéric, again, single leg skier using the outriggers. Explanation of those is instead of a ski pole, they use an outrigger to give them a little extra balance. Very similar to the sit skiers. Oh, that's very wide. And an end to the games. That's not a fairy tale at all.
That's going to be a
just overcooking it, and out of the competition goes Frederic.
Our next competitor coming right now, and we're talking about Erin Latimer will be up next for you. Erin Latimer, what has she done? Please PyeongChang 2018 Paralympic Winter Games.
Erin Latimer is at the top. There were 5 Canadians to start the standing competition. 2 are now out for DNFs. What can Erin Latimer provide in the way of trying to elevate her way up the standings? Latimer went 106.55. That left her down in 10th position. 2 other Canadians had a much better morning. Hamzy in 6th position. So Mollie Jeppsen in 2nd. This is good from Latimer. Over 8 seconds clear of Schwartz. Which means she's stretching the gap, because it was around about 5 seconds the difference earlier. The 21-year-old lives in Toronto, now stretching this lead to nigh on 10 seconds. To the final section then. Nice and steady. Keep it through the post. She does. 9.77 the difference. It's a finishing time of 2:15.61. First time. One to beat. It was slightly quicker. This morning is Anastasia Kohorasheva. Anastasia just 21. Travelled a lot during the World Cup circuit, wanted to get as much practice as she could. The neutral Paralympic athlete, very slow from the start here, and that's cost her because she's already behind Erin Latimer. And the lady from Moscow let the skis do the talking here and push herself on. Very neat through this section, but needs to be quicker. 1:55.49. She's closing it. 0.11. And Kohorasheva go back above Latimer. Just to finish inside the top 10. Needs to pick up a little bit in this bottom section. 2:15.61. Yes, good finish from Kohorasheva. 0.29.
2:15.32 for Kohorasheva in the #1 spot. Latimer down to 2, Schwartz down to 3.
So Kohorasheva goes into top position. 2:15.32 the run time for the neutral Paralympic athlete. Hondo just being held at the start for a moment. There was no real advantage between Hondo and Kohorasheva after the first run. 41-year-old from Tokorozawa only competed seriously in the beginning of 2016. Again, a huge stride in her development right here, and she's 0.83 ahead of Kohorasheva, really shifting her body weight well in this section. As she learns and develops, Annie Hondo, maybe someone we see a little bit more of. She represented Japan in able-bodied rugby sevens and competed in 15-a-side rugby at national level as well. It was actually one of her rugby coaches that suggested she have a go at para-alpine, and great shout.
Just up by 1 second. What's the time going to be?
Through the line, 1.43 ahead. It's 2:13.89 for Ami Hondo. Is that enough to put pressure on those above her? Was 8. Currently first. 7 to come. Ami Hondo Danelle. Well, what you can do is go out and get back to the top when they run in reverse order.
Yeah, now let's go.
That's what's in front of Anna Jochemsen from the Netherlands. Another of the single leg skiers within the standing classifications. Another using the outriggers to assist. 32. Anna is one of the eldest in this competition. Only Maria Papulova is older. Still has the green light, still ahead. Ami Hondo clattering through that section, and that's the bit where they bend to the right and they drop into view of the spectators. 8.25 seconds. This is good from Jochemsen. Is it enough to propel her up the board? Can she hang on in the final section? Oh, nearly a little bit too early into that turn. She corrected it. Could have been costly. 10 seconds the difference between Jochemsen and Hondo. It's quite symmetrical, really. She was 5 seconds clear after the first run, so she's doubled it. 2:03.84 is now what you need to beat.
Let her rip, Tater Chip.
Alana Ramsey.
All your energy,
At the
Alana. Let's
gates.
get it.
Big World Cup
Come on, girl.
circuit this year for Alana Ramsey. Very impressive at times. Weight 59.62. In the first run, can she combine that with a decent second run and put herself ahead of the Netherlands' Anna Jochemsen? Very wide. To make those turns a lot neater. Another 2 seconds the gap now. It's about stretching not only the lead over Jochemsen, but trying to then close on the ladies above her. There's only 5 to come after her. Smarzova's next. And the lady from Calgary come up with something big. Just a drop in time through the last section. It's only 1.3 the difference now between Ramsey and Jochemsen. Finish your run at the top of the leaderboard. Just never know. 2:03.84. This will be tight though. Oh, 0.28. Ramsey really shedding time towards the bottom. That's not what she would have required. Those green numbers to go upwards, not down, but another finish. The Paralympics of 2018. Alana Ramsey, and she is top. Slovakia being represented next. Petra Smatova for Slovakia. Can she add to the 5 medals that have been gained by Farkasova in the VI events? Farkasova has won all of the women's Slovakian medals. And Smatova go from 5th into a podium place. 0.95 is the gap. Smatova needs to put something on the board that is challenging for Papulova, ROTHFUSS and JEPSEN. You'd have to put something miraculous on the board to be challenging for BOCHET. He was 4 seconds back. Oh, now FRANTSEVA only has the slenderest of leads coming into this final section. Can she pick up the speed again to rescue this? Oh, she can. 0.38 in the end. It looked like she might be dropping places rather than challenging the ones above. Well, blows a kiss. But has she just waved goodbye to her chance of a medal here in PyeongChang? There's still a smile in there. Papulova. She knows what it's like to be in 4th position. Actual Paralympic athlete at 35, or 36 should I say. 4th and 2/5 in Sochi. The place she will not want to finish is 4th. She has a small gap over FRANTSEVA. The middle section has been the one that's cost most people time. To do that, you've then got to try and make it up in the drop down to the finish. 1:45 at the next time check. FRANTSEVA's time, oh now, 1.20. This is good from Papulova. Had a great World Championships back in 2015, a couple of bronzes and a silver. Can she turn her 4th from Sochi into a medal? Oh, 1.82. It's a 2:01.36. The challenge has been thrown down. 3 ladies left to come to secure the medals they had going into the second round. FRANTSEVA's job just got harder. Papulova has given herself every chance of going better than the 4th she got in Sochi. The first to knock her off top spot is ROTHFUSS. The gap for Andrea ROTHFUSS was just 0.26. This top 4 was tight. Battle for medals behind BOCHET was tight, but equally, whoever's top, if BOCHET makes an uncharacteristic slip, holds the advantage and takes the title. ROTHFUSS thought she was going to do that in the super combined, only for Mollie JEPSEN to come from nowhere and win gold. JEPSEN is in the driver's seat again. She was second after run 1. ROTHFUSS first challenge is to get past Papulova. 1:43.80 is the time check. Oh, ROTHFUSS is going well. 1.31 in front. Can she put in something big to put pressure onto Mollie JEPSEN? She who dares wins. ROTHFUSS will go top. 2 minutes, 0.08. ROTHFUSS gets Germany another medal. Now the dreaded fear for Papulova starts to kick in. Will she finish in 4th once again? Is this Sochi all over again for Maria Papulova?
Like you can, Moz. Let's go.
Come on, girl.
Come on, Moz.
Big shout of "you can do this" from one of the coaches at the top for Mollie JEPSEN. Just 18, already a Paralympic champion in the super combined. Can Mollie JEPSEN turn silver into gold? It's a huge gap. Over 3 seconds back from BOCHET. First challenge for JEPSEN. First obstacle is Andrea ROTHFUSS. Can ROTHFUSS hang on for a chance of winning a 5th silver? JEPSEN falls behind. 5/100ths of a second, and Andrea ROTHFUSS is currently in line for a 5th silver. JEPSEN needs to try and find something. Dig deep. 2 minutes, 0.08 at the line. She's done it. Great final section from the Canadian. ROTHFUSS has to settle for bronze. Papulova to not finish 4th needs BOCHET to have a nightmare. That's all around. Is there a strange ending to the women's standing slalom? Marie BOCHET, just 24. The script says BOCHET wins 4 in PyeongChang. Nightmare gives Mollie JEPSEN a double gold, but BOCHET just didn't look like making a mistake in the opening run of this competition. Just look how she leaps into the corners. The gap is 4.16. It's never about the gap in this standing event. This is now whether BOCHET makes a mistake, whether BOCHET falls out of the competition. That is the only chance that JEPSEN and ROTHFUSS have of staying where they are. And at the moment, the brilliance of BOCHET is just shining through. People watching this on the big screen. There is very few now opportunities for BOCHET to make a mistake. It doesn't look like she will. It's flawless, absolutely flawless. The brilliant BOCHET does it again. It's 4 from 5. And it is so true. If you are going to win an event in the women's standing, you just better hope that Marie BOCHET is either on a bad day or not even at the competition. What an athlete this is.
Merci à tous.
Merci to you as well. Marie BOCHET is like lightning. 1:55.46. The rest of the field finishing over 4 seconds back. Well, Marie BOCHET got 4 gold medals and a DNF in Sochi. It's a mirror image 4 years later in PyeongChang. She fell foul of the super combined this time around, but she put the nightmare of the slalom in Sochi behind her to claim that title as well here in PyeongChang. It's silver for Mollie JEPSEN. It's a different colour for ROTHFUSS, who gets bronze. But Maria Papulova has to settle for 4th for the 2nd Paralympics in a row. It is a delight to watch this lady ski. The use of just the right ski pole, but the strength and the agility in the lower half for Marie BOCHET is what sets her apart. Technique, drive, determination. There is a complete package in women's standing skiing. And it's Marie BOCHET.
4 gold medals. The only she had a DNF and super combined. Other than that, she was perfect out here.
Well, we might have had a surprise in the women's VI competition. The gold is going where we thought in the women's standing. Women's slalom sitting competition, the very final competition for Para-Alpine here at the PyeongChang 2018 Paralympic Winter Games. Jeongseon, the inexperienced athlete from China, will go first. There are only 9 in the competition. The lady that topped the standings after run number 1, Anna-Lena FORSTER. Jeongseon looks on. Just waiting for that start gate to come across. Again, you note that in the sit ski, Start gate is slightly higher. And away we go. Liu Sitong starts the final run of the final competition of the final day of these games. I'm sure this Chinese athlete has learnt so much from her experience here at the Jeongseon Alpine Centre, and will be looking forward to trying to qualify and being a part of the Chinese team in 2022. It's 23, an impairment result of a traffic accident. Made her international debut in Austria only in 2017, so even by the time we get to Beijing, she'll have still only been competing for 5 years. Interesting to see where the World Cup and World Championships will be through the next Paralympic cycle. Some of athletes from further afield of Europe don't always get the opportunity to be a part of the World Cup circuit. Cost, distance, time, you name it. Really fighting with the course here, Liu Sitong. Oh, and she might have missed a gate here. She's going to try and work her way back up. She's a skill in itself. Showing some real fighting spirit, and the crowd at the bottom are appreciating it. Round she goes, so Liu not giving up, and that in itself is a real message that comes from all of these great Paralympians. Liu Sitong, 2:45.14. So there you go. Liu Sitong can say that she led the Paralympics of 2018. Which is very true. Laurie Stevens of the United States of America. 34 years old. Bronze in the downhill. That will mean so much to Laurie Stevens. 33-year-old, Massachusetts. It's a fourth games. Gold back in 2006. Torino was a memorable place. Bronze in the downhill in 2010. Sorry, silver in the downhill in 2010. Bronze in 2014. So she's medalled everywhere she's been. Some experience in Laurie Stevens. She's also competed in Paris swimming. In fact, has held a couple of records for the United States. Took up the sport in New Hampshire at 15. And has a remarkable career to look back on whenever it is that she wants to call it time. Some do it early, some just don't do it. Just keep on going. It's like they're evergreen. Towards the end, and 29.92 is the difference between Stevens and Sitong. 2:15.22 is the time we need to look at. Linda Prelim from the Netherlands. Bronze in the giant slalom, silver, sorry, in the giant slalom. Which she was expected to have been as far down as 7th going into her second run. Chance for the 32-year-old to improve on that. From Helmond. Took up para-alpine skiing back in 2010. 8 years worth of experience. This was her first chance to come to a Paralympics. She's going to go home with 1 medal. There's something big from Van Impelen here on the last day. Big, heavy carved turns. She's miles ahead of the first two that have been. It's about progression upwards. Impelen has Victor immediately in front of her. Carving into the final turns then. Oh, it's all gone wrong at the end. Big bump over the line. That will be a disqualification, missing the final gate. She waves up at the crowd, but Van Impelen finishes with a whimper. So Laurie Stevens can stay where she is in the winner's area. Just hit a huge bump and sent her directly downwards, just here. She needed to be able to turn to the left-hand side. She was never going to be able to make that in the end, so Van Impelen knew it was doom.
Talk
about evergreen, 48 years old now, Stephanie Victor. Doesn't stop her from having every ounce of effort and desire to win a medal. She gave it everything in the first run in Sochi in the Super G, and ended up needing quite a lot of medical attention. The rest of her event there was done. Oh, and Victor sliding out to the side. Not the way she would have wanted to end this here. Not the way at all. The great Stephanie Victor would have wanted to go out. Gold in 2006, gold in 2010. And this is not at all how she saw this going. Big slide into the left-hander. And, well, Stephanie Victor out of the competition. But there's still plenty of competition. This is Heike EDER from Austria. One of two Austrians left to come down. And they get themselves onto the podium. EDER has the harder of the task, starts in 5th position. Went 101.35 in the first run, the 29-year-old. Married to Armin EDER. Worked in human resources when she's not sliding down slalom courses. Armin, a representative of the Austrian para-alpine team as well. The impairment came from a crash whilst training for giant slalom when she was 18. Landed in a concrete ditch, broke her back, suffering damage to her lung, kidney and liver. Took several months in hospital recuperating. Now here she is in PyeongChang, trying to pick up a Paralympic medal. Into the last part of the course, no issues that we saw from Van Impelen. And 103.50 means that a 204.85 is what the four ladies left have to get past to start with before they can even think about calling themselves medalists. At the moment, top spot belongs to EDER. This might be the last race of Anna Schaffelhuber's very prestigious career. She's only 25, but she says this is it for her. 5 golds in Sochi. She won the very first 2 events here to keep that 7 winning gold streak alive. She says she finds the toll of the courses just too much for her now and would like to go out on the top. Well, she's ahead of EDER. She has to get past one of the ladies on the front now. The covering has come off. It hasn't slowed her down. It's managed to work its way off the front. It's just a carbon fiber covering. We've had a little bit of streamlining. I'm sure Heike EDER doesn't think that that's enough to stop Anna Schaffelhuber. Gold in the Super G, gold in the downhill, silver in the Super Combined. Didn't medal at all in the giant slalom. All she's dropping time, 0.7. Schaffelhuber will get a huge cheer from the German team, I'm sure, and anybody else around here that understands the sport. An ambassador for sit skiing. This lady has been a tremendous one. The final time across the line in a race goes Anna Schaffelhuber, and she drops a place, 105.92. But you can't take history away. Anna Schaffelhuber, 7 gold medals at Paralympic Games in her time. If that is the last race we see, she's still a legend. Here it just comes uncoupled, it then gets a little bit stuck underneath the monoski until she manages to turn left. She waves Wiedersehen to the covering. Well, an emotional moment for the retiring German athlete. She's second at the moment. Will she go out with the medal? Will this lady finally find the golden treatment? Claudia Loesch. Oh, it's a struggle right at the very beginning. Claudia Loesch has had problems at the very beginning of this course, and that could have a huge impact. The lady from Innsbruck, gold medal winner in the Super G and the slalom of 2010, is out. Claudia Loesch just hasn't had the 2018 Paralympic Winter Games that she thought she wanted, that we all thought that she'd get. And it's a problem from the start. Well, Claudia Loesch has wowed us during the World Cup, but she will be as stunned as the rest of us here at the Winter Games. Momoka Muraoka, as Heike EDER celebrates the fact that she has definitely got a medal because there's only 2 left. This young lady has surprised us once. Can Momoka Muraoka with a 2nd gold medal here on the slopes of Jeongseon. The 21-year-old won the giant slalom, starts this 2nd run 1.86 seconds back behind Anna-Lena Forster. First challenge always to stay on the course. She has done now. She had a 5-second advantage over Heike EDER, who might not even believe her luck here. Now, has that cost her everything? Can she stay above Heike EDER just in case Anna-Lena Forster also makes a mistake? What a way to finish our competition here at the Jeongseon Alpine Centre. We knew it would be tight, but it's far more dramatic. Now the gap's 2.34. Muraoka cannot afford another mistake. She's only young, has every aspiration of going to the Summer Games as well. As a Japanese athlete, you can understand and respect that. Can she get herself top with 1 to go? Of course she can. She actually stretched the lead. And that'll be a case of what might have been for Momoka Muraoka. Is it gold winning? It's got to wait. 2:01.19. Yes, you can do it. It says on the banner. Now we have to sit and see if she has indeed done it. Well, Anna-Lena Forster is indeed the natural successor to Anna Schaffelhuber. Just 22. 2 silvers and a bronze in Sochi. She's got 1 gold here already in the Super Combined. Is this her time to shine? The impending retirement of Schaffelhuber allows there to be a new German number 1, and Forster stays ahead. She was ahead by 1.86 after the first run. She's extended it. Oh, really big bump, sending her high a moment ago. Forster with just the bottom half of the course then. We've done the right turn. Into the bottom section she goes. Anna-Lena Forster, if she can remain error-free for this bottom section, will be a double gold medal winner at just 22. It's looking very good for Anna-Lena Forster. And the lady from Freiburg has absolutely dominated the course. 1:55.82, wins the title by over 5 seconds. It's 2 gold medals for Germany's Anna-Lena Forster. Well, it's a sweet embrace from the outgoing to the still going. This lady, I'm sure we'll see her in 2022. Well, congratulations from other competitors at the side, and well, MURAOKA gets herself another medal, which means that she has medaled in all 5 events. A great achievement for the 21-year-old Japanese athlete, and I'm sure the battle between Forster and MURAOKA has got a long way to go. But Forster just didn't show any of the errors the others did. She didn't get sideways half as much, didn't slow herself through the corners. And when you combine the speed and the accuracy in those mono skis through the slalom course, you end up being a gold medal winner. That is exactly what Anna-Lena Forster has done here. Heike EDER, well, she's gone from 5th to 3rd, grabs herself a medal on the very last piece of action on the Jeongseon Alpine Centre.
Ah, danke.
There is our winner is Claudia Loesch. An embrace between a lady that probably didn't expect 2 golds and a lady that was desperate to get one and didn't end up with any. So I'm sure Claudia Loesch will be back to fight another day. One of her big characteristics is her ability to bounce back. Well, we will have the medal ceremonies a little bit later on in the scheduling. I'm sure you'll stick around and watch those. All of the medals presented here at the Jeongseon Alpine Centre on the final day. Stage is being set at the bottom of the run. A healthy crowd sticking around to see all the medals presented. And we hope that you can join us for those medal presentations in a short while.
좋습니다. 마지막으로 우리 사랑의 하트 한번 날려줄까요? Can you do this like this to the camera? 하트. 우리 when Korea people express love to someone, they do it like this. Okay? 감사합니다. 감사합니다. 자, 좋아요. 열정 보세요. 대단합니다. 이게 바로 패럴림픽 정신 아니겠습니까? 자, 우리 잠시 후에 여러분 다시 찾아뵙겠습니다. I'll be back in a few minutes. Yay!
Nice finish, sir. Nice finish.
네, 여러분 다시 한번 제가 돌아왔습니다. 다시 한번 이제 우리 수행 시상식이 시작되게 되는데 그 앞서서 다시 한번 인터뷰를 시작하겠습니다. 우리 옆에 보시면은 너무나도 멋진 우리 관중이 나와 계십니다. Okay, actually from a very handsome spectator, so I'm gonna interview him. Hello, yeah. Where are you from?
We are from Germany.
Germany, yeah. Oh yeah, I know that you all athletes got a gold medal, right?
So, that's right. We congratulate Anna-Lena. And we sing about Anna and all the others who did a great job today.
대단합니다. 오늘 정말 선수들 너무나도 축하하고 또 열정적으로 해서 너무 감사하다는 말 전해주셨고요. 자, 마지막으로 한 말씀만 더. 자, 우리 선수, 오늘 금메달 선수에게 한 말씀 부탁드리겠습니다. Can please say something to the athletes?
So, all the athletes did a great job on this very difficult slalom. We congratulate all and we are very proud of our German starters.
오케이. 그리고 잠깐만요. 이분요. 느낌이 범상치 않습니다. 오케이, 우리 선수들을 위해서 우리 한 댄스 한번 해야 될 것 같아요. 우리 독일 댄스 한번 볼까요? Can you dance a little bit for our athletes? 오케이. 박수 한번 주세요.
Welcome to the Paralympic Games in PyeongChang 2018. 감사합니다.
Our fingers are crossed for all the athletes here today.
패럴림픽에 와주셔서 정말 감사합니다. 관객 여러분 저희를 응원해주셔서 정말 감사합니다.
Merci d'être venu et nous avons applaudi, c'était super.
Please enjoy the sport and don't forget to cheer.
감사합니다.
아리아리 2018 평창대회 자원봉사 패션크루 여러분, 홍보대사 김연아입니다. 대회 성공을 위해 지금도 경기장 안과 밖에서 최선을 다해주시는 여러분의 모습에 큰 감동을 받고 있는데요. 여러분의 뜨거운 열정 덕분에 평창대회가 순조롭게 진행되고 있다는 생각이 듭니다. 화려하지 않고 때로는 보이지 않는 곳에서 일을 하기도 하지만 자원봉사 패션크루 여러분이 하고 있는 모든 일이 가장 중요한 일입니다. 자원봉사 패션크루 여러분이 있는 곳이 가장 빛나는 곳이며 여러분이 있기에 2018 평창 대회가 있을 수 있습니다. 늘 자부심을 가지고 자원봉사를 하시기 바랍니다. 2018 평창 대회를 이끌어 나가는 주역이 자원봉사 패션크루 여러분, 여기 계신 모두를 대표하여 여러분께 무한한 감사의 인사를 전합니다. 감사합니다.
네, 자 이제 한 번 더 마지막으로 우리 또 관중과 인터뷰를 하는 시간 가져보겠습니다. 야, 이번에는 또 우리 한국 분들이 함께 하셨습니다. 반갑게 손 한번 들으세요. 야, 일단은 오늘 기분이 어떠세요? 마지막 경기입니다.
뭔가 데뷔를 장식하는 기분이라 아주 상쾌하고 기분이 좋습니다.
she said she so feels so good. 이 기분 어떠세요?
정말 끝내줍니다. 진짜. 저 여기 처음 왔는데.
야, 그리고 우리 또 선수들에게 누구 응원하러 오셨는지 물어보겠습니다. Do you have any athletes do you support?
저희 나라 시각장애 분야 선수인 양재림 선수랑 고은소리 선수를 응원하러 왔습니다.
야, 감사합니다. 자, 마지막으로 우리 한 말씀 부탁드리겠습니다. Please say something to the athletes.
모든 선수들 수고 많았고 오늘 응원하러 오신 분들도 수고 많으셨습니다.
좋습니다. 자, 그리고 우리 한국인의 흙을 한번 보여주셔야죠. 호텔에서 한번 갈게요. 야, 퀸네. 야, 땡큐. 감사합니다, 여러분. 끝까지 함께 해주십시오. 오늘 정말 너무나도 행복합니다. 네, 여러분 즐거운 하루 되십시오. 예. 평창 화이팅! I love Paralympic! 자, 제가 오늘 가려고 했는데 도저히 안 되겠어요. 오늘 또 열정이 너무 가득하셔서 한 번 더 인터뷰하겠습니다. 야, 또 우리 너무 야, 우리 친구들과 함께 하고 있습니다. 이게 바로 평창 패럴림픽 아니겠습니까? 안녕하세요. 목소리 너무 차분하십니다. 오케이. 자, 오늘 어쩐 일로 오셨어요?
네, 저는 강북대학교 특수교육과 박사과정에 다니고 있습니다. 패럴림픽을 맞이해서 저희 선수들에게 힘이 되고자 이 자리에 나왔습니다.
야, 굉장히 조심스럽게. 오늘 또 특별히 응원하고 싶은 분이 있어요?
네, 저희 두 딸과 함께 왔습니다.
두 딸과 함께 누구를 응원하러 오셨어요? 누구를?
시각장애인 선수들 응원하러 왔습니다.
She's for okay, cheering out for all the athletes. Thank you so much. 마지막으로요. 우리 친구들 다 같이 선우를 위해서 소리 한번 지를까요? 준비됐어요? 자, okay, everybody make some noise. Thank you. 너무 감사합니다. 끝까지 음악 멋지게 부탁드리겠습니다. 감사합니다. 네, 다시 나왔어요. 오늘 너무 열정적이기 때문에 또 우리 또 외국인분과 함께 만나보겠습니다. 박수 한번 주세요. Hello. Where are you from?
Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
Oh, Canada. I love Canada. Okay. Oh, do you have anything that you like or something? Oh, no. Okay. It doesn't matter. Do you? Oh, I heard her daughter got a gold medal before. Yeah. Two bronze. Congratulations. 박수 한번 주세요. Congratulations. Oh, please say something to your daughter.
We are very proud of her. The whole country is behind her, and all of Team Canada and the coaching staff here in PyeongChang.
오케이. 우리 너무나도 푸근하신 선생님과 같이 Gangnam Style. Do you know Gangnam Style?
Everyone knows Gangnam Style.
오케이. 자, 우리 야, 좋습니다. 우리 다시 한번 축하드립니다. 우리 선생님께 박수 한번 주세요. 축하합니다. Congratulations. Have a wonderful day. Thank you. 자, 이제 제안을 저희 마이크를 우리 멋진 우리 아나운서님께 넘기겠습니다. Now I'm going to give my mic to amazing announcers. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, Robin, thank you. Good to have you out there, man, having some fun, catching up with all the great fans here of the PyeongChang 2018 Paralympic Winter Games. Jitsu, Brad J here. Hey, a reminder, medals are coming up. We're going to give away the actual gold medal, the silver medal, the bronze medal in all three categories coming up.
네, 오늘 있었던 전체 경기의 메달 세레모니, 메달 시상식이 잠시 있을 예정입니다. 슬라름 경기의 시각장애, 입식 좌식 세 가지 종목의 메달 수여식이 여러분 이곳에서 진행이 됩니다. 자, 그리고 우리 하이라이트 장면을 뭐 경기가 있다고 하죠? 보시죠.
Yeah, well, we've got some highlights. I want to show you some of the curling highlights with Korea. Take a look at some of these highlights. Medals coming up in about 5 minutes.
네, 제가 그냥 진짜 그냥 가려고 했는데 여러분 오늘 이렇게 멋진 패럴림픽 대회가 열리기까지 너무나도 고생한 사람이 있습니다. 바로 자원봉사자분입니다. 박수 한번 주세요. Thank you, volunteers. Thank you. I really want to express my deep appreciation to the volunteers. 너무 아름다우신 자원봉사. 마음도 예쁘고 얼굴도 예쁘고. 안녕하세요. 자기소개 한번 할까요? 우리 너무 예쁩니다. 자, 어떤 일 하셨어요 오늘? 우리 이때 패럴림픽 동안에. 대단합니다. Thank you for your contribution. 자, 그리고 오늘 기분 어떤지 그리고 소감 한 말씀 좀 들어볼게요. 감사합니다. 자, 우리 너무나도 정말 마음속에 천사 같고 이 열정 우리가 모두 기억하겠습니다. 우리 자원봉사랑 다 같이 손 한번 들어주세요. 자, 소리 한번 지를게요. 다 같이 make some noise. Thank you, volunteers. 감사합니다. 자, 이 순간 영원히 잊지 않을까요? 이 순간 영원히 기억하겠습니다. 우리 귀여운 친구 감사합니다. 자, 이제 저는 이 마이크를 우리 멋진 아나운서께 다시 한번 넘기겠습니다. Now I'm going to give hand over my mic to amazing announcer. Yay!
All right, thank you so much. Robin Joe down there in the mix, and Robin, doing a good job. Thanks for coming out and being part of the show today. All right, PyeongChang 2018 Paralympic Winter Games, they may be done. But I'll tell you what, we have the medals coming up. And we're going to do the actual medal ceremony when we hand out the bronze and silver and gold in all three categories. Sitting, standing, and visually impaired is all coming up. Excited to bring it to you.
네, 잠시 후에 있을 메달 세레모니, 메달 수여식이 여러분들과 함께할 예정입니다. 오늘 있었던 경기, 여자 슬라롬 경기, 입식, 자식 그리고 시각장애 부분의 선수들의 가장 영광스러운 순간이죠. 메달을 수여식으로 잠시 후에 함께하도록 하겠습니다.
All right, well, we'll show you something a little special. The faces of the game. A lot of great fan reactions. Take a look at this.
So thank you for joining us here on the final day's action of the PyeongChang 2018 Paralympic Winter Games. The Jeongseon Alpine Centre has had some historic action, pure drama at times. For the final time, we get to say well done to those athletes during the victory ceremonies. First up, the women's slalom visually impaired victory ceremony. We are just moments away. The sport of para-alpine skiing has a protest period for anybody that would like to submit to protest. There is a period of time at the end of the last event that you can do so. And I can happily tell you that we are in the final seconds of that protest period. Once that is done, we can continue on with the program here. And I can tell you that my understanding is there have been no protests. So protest time is over. It's time to celebrate success here at the PyeongChang 2018 Paralympic Winter Games. See the podium right in the middle of the finish area. As we welcome out those that had success in the women's visually impaired slalom event. Well, Great Britain have enjoyed double success on a few occasions during these games when Fitzpatrick and Knight have both found themselves on the podium, but this is the most unique of the occasions, and well, a strange occasion for the Slovakian pairing to be just off centre for once. The presenter is Erik Pedersen. He's the chairperson of the World Para-Alpine Skiing and Snowboard Tech Committee.
Accompanied by Mr. Hugh Cho, Second Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Presenter Mr. Hyun Jo, Second Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs. Well, Millie Knight it is that takes the bronze. She's just 19, just like our winner. Well, Millie Knight knows what it's like to stand on the top spot. The world champion in her own right. She's had some challenges, a change of guide between Sochi and here, a change of mental approach since the World Championships. Slamming into the winning barriers can hurt, and it took a while for the trust levels to build back up for Millie Knight. She receives her bronze along with guide Brett Wild, finishing time of 1:53.39 for the British pair.
Silver medalist representing Slovakia.
금메달 슬로바키아 안드레아 파사코바, 가이드러너 나탈리아 사르코바.
Forward they come, and it's an unusual scene for Henrieta Farkasova and Natalia Subatova. Henrieta on the right side of your screen receiving her medal now. 4 golds in PyeongChang up until today. Led at the halfway stage of the slalom, but then an absolute belter from Fitzpatrick meant that Farkasova and Subatova have to settle for their first silver of these games. The clean sweep looked on, and it means that nobody has done so. They would have been the only athletes to do it. It wasn't to be on this occasion.
Gold medalists and Paralympic champions representing Great Britain.
금메달 Paralympic champion 영국 메나 피츠파트릭.
is covered in snow currently. It's now going to get a gold medal to burn it all away. These two ladies have gone beyond exception. Unbelievable, really. Day one couldn't have ended any worse. They went down in the downhill in the very early stages of run one. And now, look what the final day gives you. It is gold here at the PyeongChang 2018 Paralympic Winter Games for the British pair of Menna Fitzpatrick and Jennifer Keogh. 151.80.66 the difference. And it's gold for Great Britain.
Ladies and gentlemen, the anthem of Great Britain.
여러분, 영국의 국가 연주가 있겠습니다.
So slalom success in the wins at visually impaired event for Menna Fitzpatrick and Jennifer Keogh. Great Britain get delight in having not only one but two on the podium here on the final day. I believe the medal target for Great Britain was 7. I believe that makes it 7. Don't think the gold was in there. What a way to go out of the games. I must have wondered what it might be when they went down in the first event of these games. They picked themselves up very quickly, dusted themselves off, and they were soon picking up a bronze medal in the second event, the Super G. Now, a few days later, they're Paralympic champions. More medals to come. Women's slalom standing victory ceremony is next on our list. This event only gave us one surprise throughout the course of the competition, but another lady that would have expected to have won all 5. Certainly if you went on the form of recent World Championships and World Cup performances. BOCHET had her bad moment in the Super Combined event. She'd have been tinged with nerves coming into this slalom event. This was the one that she lost out on in Sochi when she tried to win all 5 there. A DNF 4 years ago, I'm sure would have been in the back of her mind. Certainly based on the times that we've seen from Maddie BOCHET, not just in the first run but the second run as well. He was clearly very comfortable. And huge success once again here on the Jeongseon Alpine Centre hill. Bad day for Mollie JEPSEN either. She was the lady that took advantage of BOCHET's slip up in the Super Combined, and it was a gold for the young Canadian in front of ROTHFUSS and her compatriot Ramsey.
Women's slalom standing.
지금부터 알파인 스키 여자 회전 입식 종목의
The victory ceremony party for the standing event. Well, the First Lady Andrea ROTHFUSS was on a silver streak. She's got 4 silvers from the event so far. Probably thought that she was on easy streak once Bochet went out of the Super Combined. She finished behind her in everything so far. Why not get the goal, but wasn't to be.
The medals will be presented by Mr. Takashi Toyama, Managing Director, Panasonic.
Takashi Toyama,
By
Managing Director of Panasonic.
Member of the Paralympic Order.
메달은 도야마
Yes,
사카시
presenter.
파나소닉 상무이사께서 수여해 주시겠습니다.
Gudrun Goldtepper,
구드린 돌테퍼 패널틱
Paralympic Order.
수상자께서 수여해 주시겠습니다.
Bronze medalist representing Germany.
동메달 독일 안드레아 로트푸스.
Well, she's exceptionally happy. After 4 silvers, I'm sure she would have wanted to go the other way and pick up just the singular gold. She went backwards into bronze. And I am absolutely sure that she will not mind 5 medals in 1 Games. Is an achievement for anyone, and Andrea ROTHFUSS has bagged 4 silvers and a bronze. 2 minutes, 0.08. She was 3rd after the first run, and that's where she finished after the second as well.
Silver medalist representing Canada.
금메달 캐나다 몰리 잽슨.
Well, Canadians have had a decent medal haul for women on the slopes. Mollie JEPSEN is just 18 and is proving that she will be some serious competition for Marie Bochet. Gold in the Super Combined. It's a silver here. She's already got a bronze in both the downhill and the giant slalom. Not a bad visit to your first Paralympics at 18, is it?
Gold medalist and Paralympic champion representing France.
금메달 패럴림픽 챔피언 프랑스 마리 보셰.
Don't think it matters how many times she hears that, she still gets excited by it. Great in Sochi, great here. When does greatness end? Well, she's only 24. The future is exceptionally bright for French para-alpine skiing. And if they keep clocking medals at this rate, who's going to stop them? Bochet wins it in a time of 1:55.46. Everybody else more than 4 seconds back. Brilliant from Bochet.
Ladies and gentlemen, the anthem of France.
여러분 프랑스의 국가 연주가 있겠습니다.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh,
the
delighted.
Paralympic medalists.
Marie Bochet.
여러분, 패럴림픽 메달리스트들입니다.
There's 4 of those to take home. And, well, the French superstar is just that, and they'll be waiting for her when she gets home. It'll be interviews and stories. Not that she's not used to it. Just 20 in Sochi, still only 24. That is the great thing for Marie Bochet. I'm sure she'll be there in 2022. French enjoying themselves in the stands here at the Alpine Centre, and they've enjoyed every moment of Marie Bochet's performances. The one blip, can she do the 5 times next time? We'll have to wait 4 long years to find that out. Frightening for the rest of the women standing though. She was brilliant in the 4 years between as well, the World Cups and World Championships. Didn't show any relent for Marie Bochet, so the trick for the rest is they've got to get quicker and they've got to figure out a way of stopping the Queen of Speed, Marie Bochet. Next up, it's the women's slalom sitting victory ceremony here at the PyeongChang 2018 Paralympic Winter Games. Fair to say that going into these games, an expectant gold medal winner would have been Austria's Claudia Loesch. It was another day where she's come away with nothing. Stephanie Victor wanted to try and exercise the demons of Sochi and that big smash on the opening day. She went out in the second round as well. Linda van Impelen was disqualified for missing the last gate. Mollie Stevens has already got her bronze medal from these games. She missed out in 5th. The great Anna Schaffelhuber won't appear on the podium in her final event. The 25-year-old deciding to retire after these games started beautifully well with 2 golds in the opening 2 events. It was 7 in a row for Schaffelhuber, but today here at the Jeongseon Alpine Centre she has to settle for 4th position. It was all about Anna-Lena Forster, dominant in the competition. 2 great runs here in the slalom, and the 22-year-old has bagged a 2nd victory. Gold in the super combined. And she knows what these medal presentations are all about. Special praise for MURAOKA, who's medalled in all 5 events as well, including a gold. So at just 21 and 22 for MURAOKA and Forster. Some competition for years to come between those two, isn't there?
지금부터 알파인 스키 여자 회전 좌식 종목의 시상식을 시작하겠습니다.
There's the special gift they get along with their medals, the mini mascot. Front of that queue is a new name to add to the list of medalists. While we thought Claudia Loesch would get bronze for Austria, it's actually Heike EDER.
Please welcome the medalists.
EDER getting in a time of 2:04.85, a much deserved bronze medal. Her husband, former Paralympian himself, is looking on.
The medals will be presented by Mr. Yasushi Yamawaki, governing
Yasushi Yamawaki, the IPC governing board member.
Ms. Anya Natalia Svetic.
The gift presented by Anya Svetic, Alpine skiing technical delegate.
국제 패럴림픽위원회 집행위원께서 수여해 주시겠습니다. 시상품은 IPC 파라 알파인 스키를 대표하여
ready for that bronze. Heike EDER, 9-year-old, picking up her first of the competition on the last day.
bronze medalist representing Austria.
동메달 오스트리아 하이케 EDER.
EDER pumps the air with her fist and takes the bronze in the sitting event. Yeah, not the Austrian lady thought that we'd see on the podium. So I'm sure Heike EDER and Armin EDER, her husband, don't care one bit. It's bronze from their PyeongChang journey.
Silver medalist representing Japan.
금메달 일본 모모카 무라오카.
Well, it's the 20-year-old from Saitama. A medal in every event here. All 5 has seen this lady make it to the podium. Silver in the downhill to match this one. Bronze in the Super G, bronze in the Super Combined. But that moment in the giant slalom where the 21-year-old bagged the gold. Interesting times ahead, really are, in the sitting classification of the women's division.
Gold medalist and Paralympic champion representing Germany.
금메달 패럴림픽 챔피언 독일 Anna-Lena FORSTER.
By the time Anna-Lena FORSTER arrives back in Freiburg in Germany, that humongous smile will still be there. As always, the inevitable retirements at the end of big games, people deciding that that's enough, they don't want another 4-year cycle. Well, at 22, Anna-Lena FORSTER can only benefit from that. A double gold winning Paralympic Games. 2 silvers and a bronze in Sochi. It's so much sweeter here in PyeongChang.
The anthem of Germany.
여러분, 독일의 국가 연주가 있겠습니다.
Ladies and
Gold
gentlemen,
moments
the
indeed.
Paralympic medalists.
Anna-Lena FORSTER
패럴림픽 메달리스트들입니다.
comes away from her second games as a very recognisable name in the women's sitting category. It's FORSTER from MURAOKA, from Heike EDER. Three big smiles, 3 deserved medal winners. That is all 3 of our victory ceremonies done here at the Jeongseon Alpine Centre as well. Well, we came into these Paralympic Games thinking that certain athletes would win all 5 and they might just get away with everything. We thought BOCHET would take 5. FARKASOVA only had 1 more day left to do it as well. Lots of surprises in the men's events, it has to be said. It is 4 more long years that you have to wait for another Paralympic Winter Games, but trust me, those athletes will be doing everything they can to get there.